everybody. Welcome to Guided Listening. I'm Jeff Antoniuk. So glad you were here. So we're going to be listening today to a classic Eddie Harris tune called Cold Duck Time. And the performance here is by Dave Stryker, his trio, and special guest Bob Mintzer. And I've been thinking about this tune and thinking about Dave Stryker. He's been on faculty with us for the JazzWire Winter Summit. He was one of our special guests. I think it was last winter. By the way, that is coming up shortly on January 26, 27, 28. It's all done online, all virtually. We do about 8 hours a day, 3 days in a row. It's for all instruments. We have 2 spots left. So if you're interested in joining us, it is a blast. It is incredibly powerful. Yeah, I know it's online. We've been doing this kind of thing for years online. We have people from around the world. That's why we do it online. We've got local people that do it because they know it's a great educational situation, but we have people from around North America and all over the world that join us. So if you're interested, visit the website here, jazzwiresummit.com, and we can fit you in if you're one of the first 2 that gets a hold of us. And I was at the Jazz Educator Network Conference. I'm going to be telling you more about that through the year. It's a great organization for you to be a member of. Yes, I know maybe you're not a jazz educator, but they do all sorts of educational stuff throughout the year, and they have this amazing conference. I was at the conference in New Orleans a couple weeks ago with about 4,000 musicians. So I'm talking about amateur, playing on the side musicians, pros, band directors, university professors, and some of the top players in the world. So this band, Dave Stryker and Bob Mintzer, were there, so it was fun getting to hang out with them a little bit, see them. They played this tune, and so I really wanted to share it with you guys. So it's an organ trio now. So organ trio, even though Dave Stryker is the guitar player, we call it an organ trio. The instrumentation is organ, Hammond B3 kind of organ, guitar, drums. That's it. So something's missing there, right? Bass. Yeah, there's no bass player. The bass is done on the pedals of the organ and or the left hand. So this is Jared Gold on the organ, and he's a beast, as you're going to hear. And I want to say he does a combination. He definitely has pedals that he definitely plays. And so I'm not sure how much he uses the left hand. The old school guys used to, call that cheating, that it had to be done with the feet and, whatever. That's all that, kind of old school, I'm better than you kind of stuff, I guess. Whatever he's doing, it's killing. So Bob Mintzer on the tenor saxophone, Dave Stryker on the guitar, and McClenty Hunter on the drums. It's a great group. And so one of the things I'll say before we jump in and start listening to this a little bit is the song Cold Duck Time is 12 measures long. As far as I've ever played it or known, it's a 12 measure long tune. And so the band does something kind of cool with it. They make it into an AABA tune. So they make it into like blues with a bridge. It's sort of a blues. It's not really a blues, but it's bluesy. So that's a whole nother discussion. What's the difference between a song that's bluesy and a blues? We'll get into that a whole nother time. So this is a 12 measure composition. So what they do is they play it. Then they play it again. So they played the song twice. That makes sense. Usually we're done. We go into solos there. They've composed a bridge, and then they play the 12 measure song again at the end. So they make it into a long AABA form, which is pretty intriguing, and it works really, really well. So that's the main thing I want to say on the way in. So of course the rhythm section is really doing a ton underneath the soloist. So we're going to talk sort of about the motion of the soloist, sort of the pace that they're working at. We're going to talk about how the rhythm section is handling a song that has a ton of repetition. Most of this song is a 1 chord to a 4 chord, 1 chord, 4 chord, 1 chord, 4 chord. So that's a lot of repetition. Repetition is great, but at some point, we have to know what we're doing to make that degree of repetition compelling. We can't just play the notes, the chords on the page and think we can get away with that. So no, these guys are pros. So let's check it out. This is Dave Stryker, Bob Mintzer, and the trio, and this is called Cold Duck Time. all we are hearing is organ and drums. That's it. Two instruments. The bass line is the organ. There is saxophone and guitar. Let's listen to that again. The bass and the comping is one guy, and then the drums with that cross stick on all four. Two guys. And now we're hearing tenor sax and guitar with the melody. It's a lot of sound for four guys, right? And this is typically the end of the song. Usually it gets played twice. So yeah, they're playing it a second time. And again, guitar and saxophone in unison. So the entire rhythm section is two dudes. And now normally we go into solos here. But they've composed this cool interlude or bridge. And it's 8 measures. And now they play the song again, or what turns out to be the last A section. So it's 12, 12, 8, 12. It's kind of cool. Groovin'. Man. And now the energy kind of got this slow simmering thing. All the bass you're hearing is the organ. And we still have that cross stick on 4. So it's kind of got this slow kind of groove, slow cooking kind of thing going on. Listen to the pace of Dave Stryker's solo. He's mostly playing da-ba-do-ba-do-ba-do-ba-do-ba. So as I say that, he played only a handful of 16ths, but his pacing is 8 notes. Ba-ba-do-ba-do-ba-do-ba-do-ba-do-ba-do-ba-do. So he's not playing a ton of double time. He's just playing really great feeling 8th notes. And even though it's digging in here, there's still 8th notes. Da-ba-do-ba-do-da-do-da-do-da-da, right? 8 notes. Now, do you hear how the drums has expanded a bit, changed the sound a bit? So that's the end of one chorus. Okay. So now it's the same cross stick, it's the same bass line, but they're cooking a little harder with this solo. So his second solo is already starting at an energy level that Dave only kind of got to. So listen to the pacing of Mintzer's solo. So he's using a lot of double time. Dugga 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 dugga. Dugga 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 dugga. Not entirely, but the underlying subdivision that he's using is a lot of 16ths, even if he's not playing non-stop 16ths. Dubba 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 dubba, right? Listen to the rhythm section. So no more of that cross stick. So the drums have kind of opened up a little bit. So second level of energy, right? Okay, sounds like next solo. Ooh, listen to that. So even though there's only 2 guys playing right now, well, 3, I guess, Dave's comping. Even though there's fewer guys playing, the energy is higher, isn't it? So listen to the drums. He's doing a backbeat on 2 and 4. 2, 4, 2, 4. So the energy is even higher than the second solo, certainly higher than the first. Lots of 16ths, da 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 da, right? And this is the bridge. Oh, interesting. So he only did 2 12s, 2 A sections. So they chopped his solo. And went here. Oh, so they're taking it out. Okay, so what was the time of that? That is 5 minutes long. Guess who was going for some airplay? Dave Stryker. And why the hell not? He wants to get paid. So here's the thing. If the organ solo would have been a whole chorus like everybody else, the organ solo would have been twice as long. They played one A section out instead of A, B, A for the head out. So they chopped out almost a chorus and a half. So they tightened up the arrangement. Now, here's the thing. When I heard them live, I'm pretty sure they each played longer solos. Because it's live, it's in a room, we're feeling it, there's the PA, there's all that. So yes, jazz, I would argue shouldn't be sort of tight and sort of arranged down into small bits, except for when you're listening on the radio. So there are rules. It's difficult to get airplay for a song that's 14 minutes long or 24 minutes long if you're John Coltrane, right? So this 5 minutes is the perfect amount for airplay on radio or internet radio or streaming or whatever it is. So a smart guy who understood how to tighten up an arrangement, let everybody solo, including right at the end in the tag part, McClenty Hunter on drums. By the way, a pretty great name. I wish my name was McClenty. But so there were even some moments for him on the end to do some fills in that tag. So everybody got to play. We didn't get tired of the song. Arrangement-wise, there's some lessons in there for sure on how to tighten something up when it needs to be tightened. And can we open it up when it's live? That's the easiest thing in the world to do. Yeah, Jared on the organ, man, take 3 choruses as opposed to half a chorus. Knock yourself out, right? So it's a simple thing to change or morph or fix, if that's the right term, right? So now, when you listen back, did you notice how the first solo was really kind of contained? And so the accompaniment was more contained, and Dave's rhythm was sort of more contained in the 8th note zone. Can Dave not play 16th notes? Of course he can. So I would be interested to know behind the scenes, did they plan on, hey, my first solo is going to be more chill. Bob, you come in, you do your thing. And then Jared, for your solo, we're swinging for the fences, man. They could have said that, just that, and the band would have known what to do. Or did they intuitively do it? I'm going to say there was some talk. That's what the producer maybe said, is like, hey, let's have the structure or the feel of the tune build. Like it could have just been a bunch of, maybe everyone was in a chilled mood. It could have been 3 chilled solos, or it could have been 3 solos that light the world on fire. And by the time you've heard 2 of those, do you need to hear a third one? No. So that's where producing, orchestrating, arranging comes in to make a really successful track. That said, it's jazz, and we don't want to talk the life out of it. We don't want to arrange the life out of it. So these are journeyman, frickin' pro musicians here that know how to find that balance. And there's nobody more fun to listen to live than Dave Stryker and his band. So it was a blast to hear this live. And I'd never heard the recorded version of it, so I got to come back and listen to this. And so just thinking about how they handled the energy, and as deep as we got in the weeds, we didn't do any harmonic analysis on anything that Bob Mintzer played. We could, I suppose, but just that idea of how Dave was more in the 8th note zone in his playing and how great it felt. And then Mintzer was a little more in the 16th zone. Jared Gold also in the 16th zone to make big overgeneralizations, but how McClenty on the drums was supporting that energy and how he forced those guys maybe further ahead than they would have gone on their own, which, by the way, is what a great teammate does. Your teammate makes you better than you are on your own, right? So that's what this band does. So lots of cool stuff in here. And, so if you have an opportunity to hear these gentlemen, go check it out for sure. And I want to fill up those last 2 spots of the Jazzwire Winter Summit. It's virtual, it's online. We do a killer job of it. We've produced, honestly, over 100 of these events on Zoom. We know what we're doing. We know how to make it great. So visit the website. You can reach out to me there and see if we have one of those last 2 spots left. This is coming up in about a week from if you're seeing this in real time. And yeah, look forward. Hope we're going to get a chance to work together. And there it is, Dave Stryker, Bob Mintzer. Have a great week, everybody.